Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. Tonight, we give you a piece of breaking news. Angry reaction as Meghan slaps the face of the Queen and the royal family. As a royal expert has claimed, the Queen and her family will be distressed to hear that Meghan Markle did not feel protected during her pregnancy. As I discussed in some recent videos, Meghan claimed that the royal family didn't protect her when she was pregnant. However, this statement was fiercely condemned by experts as well as fans. She seems to have conveniently forgotten who gave her away on her wedding day. She seems to have conveniently forgotten the generosity and kindness of the Queen, British royal family, to invite her to Balmoral before they were married, while Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, did not receive one prior marriage. In fairness to the Queen, she and the rest of the British royal family have been patient and kind considering the verbal hostility from this woman. Last night, royal editor Russell Myers also told Lorraine Kelly on Good Morning Britain that the senior members of the royal family will be upset at new claims that Meghan Markle felt the firm failed to protect her while she was pregnant with her first child Archie in 2019. The claim was made within the latest documents released as part of her High Court battle against the Associated Newspapers Limited, publishers of the Mail on Sunday, over an article which reproduced parts of a letter she had sent to her father Thomas Markle in August 2018. Myers added that upcoming books that will be published this summer and claiming to uncover the truth about Megxit were also likely to deepen the upset. Speaking to Lorraine, the royal expert said the situation was very, very sad indeed, and added the royal family was likely to feel upset by the Duchess of Sussex's latest court submissions. Meanwhile, Mr. Phil Dampier also slammed Meghan for that. He said, "It is indeed a slap in the face, especially for the Queen and the royal family. The Queen does not deserve this kind of drama. You know very well that you made it difficult for the security to protect you. Oh no, you had to do it differently and make the impulsive decision, thinking you were so down to earth and blah blah." He also blasted Harry, "So fake as can be. I am surprised that Harry let her bash his family. In almost every speech he gives, he has so mentioned, 'My wife said.' It looks like he is the only one allowed to speak to her when she gives him permission." Meghan Markle does not refer to her Harry, but to herself. The royal family will be hurt because they did welcome her. Spend a lot of money to make Harry happy, not her. Back to Myers, he said they're also disturbing readings for the royal family. They will be really, really distressed. He added he had looked back at the public statements the Queen had issued in January, following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's announcement that they intended to withdraw from their royal duties. "I think at the time, and certainly reading back on them now, they are very, very heartfelt," he said. He continues, "The Queen mentions family, how they took Meghan into the heart of the family, how she was so impressed with her. And certainly these claims that she felt unprotected, especially when pregnant, will be very, very distressing to hear for the Queen, Philip, Charles, Kate, and William." Lorraine added, she could not help feel these untimely revelations would divide the family further, and remarked, "This is not going to help, is it? They looked like they were just coming together, and then bam, you've got this. I honestly feel bad for William. He was born with tremendous pressure on him, lost his mother at a young age. His father didn't appear to always be around when he needed him due to engagements, and now his brother is completely throwing the family under the bus. Despite this, he seems to be a decent guy, and he made a very good choice for a wife and future queen. It's very hard to be the strong one when someone close to you is constantly having a pity party for himself. I really do wish the best for him. Well, if they haven't realized or accepted the witch she is by now, they never will. She is the lowest of the low. I borrow that expression from the late Queen Mother speaking of the Duchess of Windsor, but the Duchess was a lady of the first order compared to Markle. She concludes, the Queen and Kate and William and anyone else know full well that the whole country realizes that this winger will spout anything to play the victim and get attention, so they can take it with the pinch of salt it deserves. A good rule in life, don't let others ruin your happiness, and that trash will try and ruin anyone's happiness purely to play the victim. Let her get on with it and ignore it. Meanwhile, as an anonymous expert said, well, Meghan is going the right way to blow any chance she had as being a speaker on empowering women and independence, as she is showing herself to be such a weak, delicate little thing. She not only cannot walk in public without clinging onto a man, but needed everyone to mollycoddle her when she was pregnant. Maybe she should take advice from an ordinary woman who can stand on their own 2 feet, hold down a job while pregnant, and not need to be constantly adored by everyone, even complete strangers. How she has the nerve to think she has something to offer women in shelters when she cannot cope with 1% of what these women have gone through is frankly insulting to women everywhere. The angry reactions not only from royal experts but also from the fans. They beat Meghan and Harry mercilessly. And the first said, the sad truth is that Meghan thought she could act the diva and her attitude and disrespect was her undoing. The picture of her in the tight white dress is just one example of her not following protocol. No royal would wear a dress like that whilst pregnant. The tightness and fitting are tasteless and tacky, reminiscent of celebrities who want to show everything. Her complaints about no protection are untrue. She had at least 15 people personally supporting her in her role, besides all the other luxuries she was able to enjoy. She was given treatment that Catherine never received when entering the family. She has shown herself to be a very poor choice with her grasping and entitled attitude. She has complained and moaned to her friends so they would leak stories. She is a manipulative and devious woman, and her treatment of her father, family members, and old friends show her ruthless sociopathic nature. Harry will eventually wake up and realize what a mistake he has made. A fan replied to this comment. They welcomed her into the family. She was taken out and about by them. The Queen paid particular attention to her. She had a spectacular wedding with no expense spared. She had a house renovated to the highest standard when Kensington Palace was not convenient for whatever reason. She was allowed to get involved in all sorts of projects. What more could they have done? How could she feel unprotected or unwanted? If this story is true, then it seems she is most ungrateful. But the second explains, saying she felt unprotected by the RF is just a deflection to take the focus off of the fact that she told a group of friends about a letter she wrote to her father. Her friends gave an interview and brought up the letter. Dad called foul and showed the letter. Now she tries to take the focus off of her lies. The media and the British public were not very nice toward Kate or her entire family, and they didn't sue, point fingers, etc. They held their heads up high and just kept going. Meghan Markle opened a can of worms, and she is now trying to lie her way out of it. A fan upvote for this comment and reply, the royal family doesn't comment on the press, because if they start it will never stop. Plus, it would give the papers more to write about. Meghan should have understood that. It wasn't personal, it's just the way things are done. Also, the way she continues to treat the royal family in public makes me wonder how she treated them in private. And if she's so unimpressed with the royal family, why in the world is she still clinging to her title and association? Another fan added, from the outset, I knew this woman was going to be trouble. When Harry issued his warning for the press to stop harassing Meghan, the country was somewhat bemused and confuddled. Compare the coverage of Diana's pre-engagement to that of Meghan. Diana was regularly greeted by the press pack on her doorstep. No such footage of Meghan existed. We barely knew what she looked like, or anything about her. Yet she had persuaded Harry that she was the victim of press intrusion. Liar, but she certainly knew how to push his buttons. She's a piece of work. And the last one also angrily said, "Oh, please, why is she always painting herself a victim? She knew who Harry was before she met him. She knew who his mother was. She knew the amount of scrutiny Diana came under, the circumstances of her death, and the interest the media show in her even now. She knew the interest in Kate Middleton before she became the Duchess of Cambridge only increased after her marriage, and the interest shown in the children. Meghan is not a chills or a naive, uneducated woman. She is well-traveled, well-read, speaks more than one language fluently, is an activist, and connected to people in high social circles as well as the media and celebrity circuit, and has been married before. This wasn't a 19-year-old, poorly educated innocent who was clueless about the media interest, security risk, and restriction being in the spotlight would bring. She dismissed the advice of her security team, who ended up quitting because she would not follow advice. What she is doing now is throwing a tantrum. And you? What do you think about Meghan Markle's claim? Please let me know in the comment section below and we can discuss. If you loved my video, remember to like and share for anyone you think would also be interested. And subscribe to my channel to get more news from the royal family. Now, good night, and see you tomorrow.
Hello everyone, Meghan Harry is taking another turning point on Diana's birthday to further strengthen her position, create public attention, make something more meaningful. A cold head and a cup of tea in watching Meghan Harry's next unusual action to know what to do in the near future.